everyone, this is Yvonne from Yvonne Ceramics. In today's video, we are going to do a mystery slip cast mold review. So a couple of weeks ago, I stumbled across a lady who is giving away some slip cast molds. So I acquired some new molds, and so I've been busy organizing and cleaning the molds. And so today we are going to take a look at this giant mold that I have right here. So I'm very excited to show you guys this mold because this is a Christmas tree mold. So I have been looking for a Christmas tree mold forever, and I couldn't come across any Christmas tree mold. One, because they're just really big and nobody wants to ship them, and two, they're just really hard to come by. For the Christmas tree mold, it comes in multiple parts. So this is the base of the mold. It's a two-part base, so it comes off on the top, and this is what the base looks like. Has these beautiful pattern over here, and because of how big the mold is, the base, I'm sure I can slip cast it, but for the tree, it's just so big. If you can see, it's about half of me, so it would be impossible for me to slip cast and pour out the slip. So I've been brainstorming ideas on how to do and what to do with this Christmas tree. So this is one part of the mold. So this is an older Christmas tree mold. That's why you can see the outside has lots of blemishes, but that's okay. I washed off all the old clay. The inside actually looks really well preserved. You can see the patterns and the texture are still there on the inside of the mold. So this is only one of three parts. So this is one part, and it's actually quite heavy too. And this is the second part. And the third part. So it's really big. It would be impossible for me to pour slip in, let it set, and then pour the whole thing back out. And also I don't have a big slip cast table. So I came up with the idea of using slabs of clay, and then I will push the slab into the mold, into the three parts, and then slip and score the sides, and then push them in and wait for it to dry, and then hopefully it will unmold. So I'm not sure if this would work, so let's try it together. All right, so this is 1/3 of the Christmas mold. Got some slabs that I have cut out from my block of clay. I don't know how much clay I'll need for each third, but let's just try it. So I have only used this method on smaller slip cast molds. For example, I have some leaves and flower where the pour spout are really small to pour. So I just press clay into it and use it as an open press mold, and it worked really well. So like I said, I never tried on something so big, such a big scale. So I don't know if this would actually work, but we'll never know until we try it, right? So right now I'm just pressing clay onto the mold, and I'm just cutting more clay as I go. I guess the worst case scenario here is it will not work and I will have to reclaim all the clay, but you never know until you try it. So I am just pressing in bits of clay. Because of the shape of the mold, it's really hard for me to just press a whole slab on because there are divots here. So I'm just gonna work my way Alright, so I have finally finished covering 1/3 of this mold with clay, and even though it doesn't look that pretty right now on the inside, but that's okay because it's the inside. I have my serrated rib. I'm going to score the inside of this mold, and then later on I'm going to put slip on it. Hopefully that will join the parts together. So I'm working as quickly as I could because the clay is drying already inside this plaster mold. And today is pretty warm. Even though I'm working in the shade, I want to make sure I am working as quickly as I could. So I got some slip here. I'm going to just apply some slip. So the slip is the same clay body as the clay that I am using right now. So just applying slip on. And once I have the slip on the edges, I have a wet towel. I'm going to cover the mold with my wet towel while I work on the other sides. Alright, so I finished putting clay on all 3 parts of the tree. So here's the moment of truth. See if I can put them together. So I've already slipped and score each side. So let's make sure this part goes here. Need to see which part goes where. I think this part goes here. Yep. Okay, this part goes here. And this part goes here. Okay. Alright, so they are together. And to put them together even more, I'm going to get my bending strap and strap them together, one on the top and one on the bottom. Alright, so I put a bending strap on the top and one on the bottom, so they are somewhat together now. So let's wait, I would say about half an hour, see how it goes. Alright, let's take off these bending strips and see what it looks like inside. I hope it worked out. Okay, it's coming out. The mold is coming out, so that's a good sign. I might have to do it slowly so I don't break it. Okay, one part is out. It's looking really good right now. So I have unmolded. Are you ready to see? So this is the Christmas tree. As you can see, let me zoom in a little bit more for you guys. because I was putting different parts of the clay into the mold, so you can see that there are these are the joining clay, and then of course I need to these are the extra clay from the mold, so I need to trim it. And then some parts are not really exactly together with the joints here, but that's okay because the clay is still quite moldy, moldable. It's not even leather hard right now, so that's a good thing. So I can fix this up. So it's very sunny right now, so I'm going to put this on a bat and move it inside to continue working on it. Okay, so I moved the tree back inside so I can work on it some more. And now it's on a bat on a turntable. So like I said earlier, there are lots of gaps here that I need to fill out. And since this is an older mold, some of the texture were lost in the mold. So I will carve out more texture for the tree. On the bottom, there are parts I need to fix as well. And like here the joints were not so well because normally if it was a slip cast mold I would unmold it upside down, so when I was unmolding it, I was having some difficulty, so I need to fix this part and just some trimming as well. But overall I'm quite impressed at this technique. I wasn't sure if it would work, but it did. And look at the size of this Christmas tree. It's huge and gigantic. So let's get started on repairing this. So first I like to repair the joint here. So I'm going to use some water here. Just move out the joint. And I will press them together. So I finally finished joining the seams together and smoothing out any blemishes. So that took me about an hour to do, but it looks really nice. No cracks, nothing. So I need to smooth out the joints and also the underside as well. So that's why it's taking me so long. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see. Because I use a damp sponge and a small paintbrush to smooth out, it lost some of the texture on the tree, but that's okay. I am going to let this dry out a little bit more first until a little bit just like kind of leather hard before I start carving. The reason why I want to let it dry out a bit more is because when I carve it out, I want to minimize as much of the crumbs while I carve. So I'll let this dry out. It's still quite damp because I use a damp sponge. But otherwise it's looking really nice. I love this tree. Alright, so it's been about half an hour to 40 minutes of drying. It is drier to touch, not as wet as before. And while it was drying, I actually threw a damp cloth. So this is a little bit wet. I threw a damp cloth on the top because I know the tip will dry out the first and the fastest. So that's why I don't want this to dry out. So I have a damp cloth on the top, just lightly draping the top, and then the bottom also, this is a damp cloth as well. The reason I put this on the bottom is because I still haven't trimmed or fixed the bottom of the tree yet. It's still a bit too wet for me to tip to its side, so that's why I'm keeping the bottom a little bit wet and a bit more moisture by putting a wet cloth here. So I was just doing it like this, surrounding just the base with a damp cloth, so it's not dripping wet, just a little bit wet to keep the moisture in the clay. So now let's start with carving the details. So I want to zoom in a little bit to show you guys the original texture of the tree. So as you can see, these are the original texture on the tree. So it is not uniform, it's random, just like how you would expect a tree to be. So my plan to carve is to just carve out random lines and then use a sponge to smooth out the edges. So I started here to do some testing. So I like how my carving is. It blends really well with the other ones. So these are my carvings. I'm going to start with the top first. I'm using just a regular carving tool like this with a little loopy end here for my carving, or a smaller one like this. So when I look at the top, I see that they have, the original tree has straight lines down. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll just deepen the lines like that. Just random lines. It doesn't have to be uniform. Some are deeper than others. I haven't really thought about the glazing of the tree yet. At first, I was tempted to do a green glaze with texture, like a Amaco texture turquoise. But then I actually want like a more non-traditional Christmas tree. So I don't think I'll do green. I'm still thinking. If you have any other ideas of a non-traditional Christmas tree, can leave your idea in the comments below. That would really help me a lot. But before I even think about glazing, I need to bisque fire this. So I hope this will make it through the bisque firing. So I finished carving all my lines. I'll zoom in to show you guys. The top, some straight lines, and then the body, I have lines fanning out, and also on the bottom as well. Might be hard to see right now because it's not glazed, but I have carved a lot of lines. I like the texture. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my new favorite sponge, the elephant ear sponge. I'm gonna wet it a little bit, and then I'm going to smooth out the lines. The reason why I want to smooth it out is so that it's not too sharp and hard to touch. I don't want to cut myself while I'm handling this. So I'm just smoothing out the line. And also sometimes with the carving, little crumbs of clay. You can see here, little crumbs of clay are here. So I'm using my sponge to wipe those off. So I finished smoothing out the lines on the tree. So this is basically it. I'm not going to do anything more on the tree. Next, I'm going to just wrap the bottom with my cloth. And I want to let this just air dry out here for a little bit. I'll check back in an hour, see if it's dry enough for me to flip this on the side and trim the bottom. But after trimming the bottom, it's basically done. I'm going to slow dry this tree because I was assembling it and fiddling with it. So I'm afraid it would have cracks. So I'm going to slow dry this over a few weeks. And before I even put in the bisque kiln, I need to make sure that the whole thing is dry throughout, inside and outside, before I bisque fire. So that's basically it. I'm so excited about this tree. I'm not sure it'll make it through bisque firing, but I will do another video to update you guys. So thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to get my updates on this tree. I hope to see you guys again later. Bye bye.